Taehyung struggled against Minji's tight grip and a flash in his eyes as Minji leaned closer, desperate. Taehyung pleading voice shaking. Minji, stop! Let me go. Suddenly, footsteps echo across the library. The door cracked wide, both boy frozen. Jungkook appeared at the end of the essay. His sharp eyes narrowing the second he sees Taehyung struggling in Minji's grip. Jungkook's voice is cold, firm, but lives with fire. Jungkook let him go. Minji stiffens, releasing Taehyung west and soft. Taehyung quickly pulled back, holding his arms against his chest, breathing. Jungkook stripped over his tall frame, towering over Minji, eyes blazing with anger. Jungkook low, dangerous. What do you think you are doing with my student? Minji defensive, stumbling over words. I was just confessing. He misunderstood. Taehyung cutting in voice, still shaking but firm. No, he doesn't. He was not just confessing. He tried to force on me. Jungkook's jaw tightens. His hand curled into fist at his side. He took a step closer to Minji. His presence, authority, and quiet flurry. Jungkook, listen carefully, Minji. If you ever try to touch Taehyung without his permission again, you will regret it. Minji swallowed hard, but his jealousy twisted deeper. His voice raised, desperate and bitter. Minji, why? Why are you protecting him like this? Everyone can see it. If you care about him more than just a professor should. Taehyung frozen, eyes wandering. Jungkook's eyes flicker towards him, softening for a brief moment. But then he turned his sharp gaze back to Minji. Jungkook coldly. Where? I care about him or not. It's none of your business, Mr. Chiang. What is your business is learning respect from him and for boundaries. The library grew tense and silence. Minji clenched his fists, glaring at Jungkook and then at Taehyung, his voice trembling with frustration. Minji, to Taehyung bitterly. You all regret this, Taehyung, choosing him over me. With that, Minji stormed out, his footsteps echoed eagerly down the hall. Silence settled again. Taehyung, hand frozen, still shaken. Jungkook immediately softened, stepping closer to him. Jungkook, gentle concern. Taehyung, are you okay? Did he hurt you? Taehyung shook his head, eyes watering slightly, thought his waist. Straight from Minji's grip. Jungkook noticed his expression darkening again as he gently takes Taehyung's hand, passing his thumb across the mark. Jungkook's soft, protective. You should be told me if he was bothering you. I don't ever want to see you scared like that again. Taehyung's lip trembled into a small, grateful smile, his voice quiet. Taehyung, I didn't want to cause trouble, but when you come in, I felt safe. Jungkook gaze softened even more. Without thinking, he reached up and gently touched Taehyung's hair behind his ear, his touch lingering. Their eyes look at the air between them, charged with unspoken emotions. Jungkook whispering, "You are most important to me." Then you realize. Taehyung plus his heart racing, but before he can respond, voice from outside the library, eco-friendly student approaching. Both of them quickly step back, hiding their closeness. Jungkook cleared his throat, lowering his voice back into something professional. Jungkook softly, "Go back to your class. I handle Minji." Taehyung nodding, still shy. "Hmm. Thank you, Jungkook." As Taehyung walked out, he closed his chest, tried to calm his racing heart. His lips covered into a sigh smile. Jungkook watched him grow his own chest heavy with feelings he can't hide it anymore. One week later, the day after the library incidents were quieter, but only on the surface. Taehyung tried to hide the unease in his chest. Whenever he passed Minji in the hallway, Minji has lingered too long. His smirk Minji eyes lingered too long. He smiled too sharp, but beside him, Jungkook grew steadily more protective. He would wait outside the classroom, sometimes under the excuse of checking the lecture hall, other times without word. His gaze softened only when it landed on Taehyung. In the morning at home, Taehyung stood in front of mirror fixing his tie. Jungkook looking the doorframe, arms crossed, his usual cold mask on, but his eyes followed Taehyung every move. "Jungkook, you are leaving early today?" Taehyung smiled lightly. "Yes, I promised Jisoo I help her with a project before class." "Jungkook, don't go anywhere alone. Not if Minju is around." Taehyung sighed, rattled his head. "You still don't trust me to handle myself?" Jungkook stepped closer, voice low. "It's not you I don't trust. It's him. He look at you like you are his to claim, and that makes me want to." Cut himself up, tightened his jaw. Then softly teasing to lighten the mood. "What? Him?" Jungkook didn't smile. His silence was heavier than words. Then blinked, his heart skipping. Taehyung was walking across the quiet when Minji appeared, blocking his path. Minji smiled fiercely. "Tae, you've been avoiding me." Taehyung taking a step back. "You've been busy." Minju busy? Hiding behind Professor Jian. His smile drop I start. "Tell me, what does he give you that I can't?" His cold dissent but me. I could give you everything. Then firm but calm. "You are my friend, Minji, nothing more. Stop. Stop making this complicated." Minju gave his waist tightly. "Friend? Is that what you call someone who watches you day and night? Who want to take care of you?" Who want to you? Taehyung struggled, voice trembling. Let's go up, Minji. Jungkook was cut through the tension like ice. Jungkook let him go. Both turned. Jungkook stood there, his expression unwavering, but his aura dangerous. Slowly, Minji released Taehyung with smoking. Minji, oh, Professor Jian. Always arriving at the perfect time. Jungkook stepped closer, standing between Taehyung and Minji. Don't test me, Minji. I will let you off once. Minji mocking, and what are you going to do? Hit the principal's son? Risk your precious career? All for a student? For the first time, Jungkook controlled snap. His hands shook sharply, leaning and stepping across Minju's cheeks. The sound echoed. Taehyung's eyes wide. Jungkook's voice low, shaking with fury. Listen carefully. Taehyung is not just a student. He is my husband, mine, and if you so much as look at him with the wrong way again, I won't stop at you. Taehyung breathed caught husband. The word hung between them, heavier than anything else Jungkook had ever said. Taehyung looked at Jungkook, his heart racing. Jungkook didn't even glance his way, his entire focused look of Minji. But Taehyung saw it, the trembling in his hand, the raw protectiveness in his eyes. Minji touching his cheeks, and then smirking darkly. Husband, he chuckled and seriously sound interesting. Jungkook grabbed Taehyung's hand firmly. Are we leaving? He pulled Taehyung with him, not giving Minju a second look. Taehyung followed, still stunned, his lips parted as thought what wanted to come but refused to leave. Jungkook finally slowed down, releasing Taehyung's hand, only to check his waist where Minji had grabbed him. Jungkook softly, almost guilty. Did he hurt you? Taehyung shaking his head, still breathless. No, Jungkook. He looked at him with wide eyes. Did you just? Jungkook avoiding his gaze. It slipped out. Taehyung half smiled, half teary, slipping out. You just told Minju I'm your husband. Jungkook finally meeting his eyes, voice cuter because you are. Taehyung's heart thundered. For a second, all he could do was stare. Jungkook's gaze was steady, raw, ungraded, so different from the cold professor mask he always wore. Taehyung softly, You never said it like that before, Jungkook exclaimed slowly. I should be. I was a fool to hide it. Silence stretched, warm and heavy. Taehyung felt his face heat, his chest tight with emotions. He couldn't name. He wanted to say something bad, but before he could, Jungkook stepped closer, his thumb brushing lightly over Taehyung's waist as if making sure he was really okay. Meanwhile, inside the principal's office later that evening, Minjun stood of his father, Principal Minho, his cheek still faint red. Minjin, acting pitiful. Father, Professor Jian, hit me. Principal Minho expression darkened instantly. Principal Minho, what? He, he dare lay a hand on you? Minji smirking faintly to himself, but keeping his tone weak. Yes, I'll because I try to talk to Taehyung. He overstepped. A teacher hitting the principal's son. Isn't that unacceptable? Principal Minho slammed his hand on the desk. Principal Minho, unacceptable. It's unforgettable. I'll make sure Professor Jian regret this. Before Minji lower eyes, a curl smile appeared. Minji to himself, husband. Easy. Let's see how long you can protect him when your whole career burned. Next morning, university campus, whispering filled the halls. Students cleared into groups. Their voice hushed but urgent. Student, uh, did you hear? The principal called Professor Jian. Student B. Yeah, something about him hitting Minji. Student C. What does what? But that can't be true. Professor Jian, he is strict but never violent. They walked down the hall, his stomach twisted into knots. Every whisper seems louder in his eyes, every glance heavier. His face carried him towards the lecture hall where Jungkook usually, but instead of calm order, there was Jungkook stood at the front, his hand behind his back, face as unable as ever, but beside him stood Principal Minho, towering eyes burning with accusation, student caps staring between two. Principal Minho sternly voice echoed, Student, I regret to inform you that Professor Jian has behaved in a manner unworthy of his position. He has a student, my son Minji. Such will not tolerate in his instruction. Gas speared across the room. Taehyung frozen in the doorway, his heart shaking, his chest tightened until he could barely breathe. Student, that's impossible. Student, but he is the principal's son. Could it be true? Jungkook jaw tightened, but he didn't speak. His silence scared louder than words. Principal Minho coldly. From this moment, John Jungkook is dismissed from his position as professor. The word struck like thunder. Taehyung felt his knee weak, his eyes burning as guilt washed over him. This is my fault. If it were not for me, Jungkook could never. Empty hallway, student felt busy with rumors. Jungkook walked out calmly, almost too calmly. His steps were steady, but his fists were clenched at his sides. Taehyung rushed after him, grabbed his sleeve. Taehyung was shaking. Jungkook, wait! Jungkook stopped but didn't turn around. Taehyung, tear in his eyes. I'm sorry, it's all because of me. If I hadn't, if Minji didn't. Jungkook turned slowly, his eyes softer than his voice. Stop!
Stop, none of is your fault, Taehyung. Taehyung gripped his arms tightly, but you lost everything, your job, your name. It's all ruined because of me. Jungkook shook his head, voice firm but low. Taehyung, look at me. Taehyung lifted his tearful eyes. Jungkook gently. You are not the reason. Minji is his jealousy. His lie. I do lose 1,000 jobs if it mean keeping you safe. Taehyung breathed fast, his heart painfully with both sorrow and time escaped. The house was silent, too silent. Taehyung sat curled on the couch, staring at the floor. His guilt ate at him. He replayed the scene over and over again. The principal cold voice, the whisper Jungkook dismissal. Jungkook walked in quickly, placing his jacket on the chair. He looked tired, more than Taehyung had ever seen, but when his gaze leaned on Taehyung, his expression softened. He sat beside him. Taehyung whispering, do you hate me now? Jungkook blinked surprised. Huh? Jungkook, what? Taehyung voice cracking. If you hadn't met me, you still have your job, your respect, everything. Jungkook gently cuffed his face, forcing him to look at him. Taehyung, listen to me. I don't care about the job. I don't care about the title. I only things I care about. His voice softened. It is you. Taehyung tears flinging his hand trembling as he clutched Jungkook's shirt. Taehyung, but I can't stand watching you suffer because of me. Jungkook firmly pulling him into an embrace. Then, don't suffer alone. We face this together, always. Taehyung brushing his face in Jungkook, tears soaking his shirt. For the first time, Jungkook let his arms wrap fully around him, protective, and the world outside could whisper, accuse, and tear them apart. But inside this embarrassed, Taehyung finally felt safe. Next day, university campus. The university was buzzing with gossip. Jungkook dismissal had shaken everyone. Some believed it, some didn't. But all eyes now turned suspiciously towards Taehyung. Taehyung walked into class, his head low, heart heavy. Somin and Jisoo exchanged worried glances. But before they could speak, Minji walked in with a smug smile. Minji loud enough to other hear. Some people should know their place. Professor who crossed the line deserve punishment. Don't you all agree? Whisper spare instantly. Students look uncomfortable, but no one dare speak. Taehyung clenched his fist under the desk. His chest burned with both anger and fear. If I stay quiet, Jungkook's name will remain under forever, ruined forever. Taehyung's steps were heavy, but he found Jungkook waiting by the gates. His tall femme leaning against the wall, hands in his pocket, as thought the dismiss meant nothing, but Taehyung could see the weight in his eyes. Jungkook softly, "Oh, you didn't have to come. I can wait outside campus for you." Taehyung shaking his head. No, I don't want to hide anymore." Jungkook titled his head, studying him. Taehyung was trembling but determined. "You lost everything because of me. I won't let Minji keep winning."
Time escaped. Principal Minho had gathered students for an announcement. Minji stood proudly beside him, pretending to look victimized. Principal Minho was blooming. "I will remind you all, an unprofessional behavior will not be tolerated at this institution. The dismissal of Professor Jian is final." Student member unsure. That's when Taehyung suddenly stood up. His heart pounded, but his voice carried through the hall. "Taehyung, that's not true." Gap filled the room. Minji frozen, his confident smile flittering. Principal Minho frowned. "Taehyung, Kim Taehyung, this is not the place for." Taehyung cutting his voice strong now. This is the place, because the one who accused everything isn't Professor Jian. It's Minji." A loud wave of whisper rushed over the hall. Students turned towards Minji in shock. Taehyung pointing at Minji, trembling but firm. "He tried to force himself on me in the library. When I refused, he lied." Jungkook hesitate, then take a deep breath. "No, Jungkook is my save me." The hall in shock. Student Professor Jian and Taehyung. Minji's face turned pale, then red with anger. Minji shouting, "Listen, all lies. He just covering up from that man." Taehyung's voice breaking but fearless. "No, I'm not. I'm telling the truth." "Jungkook is my. He protected me when Minji tried to hurt me. That's why he slapped him." The silence that followed was heavy. Students exchanged glances, someone shocked, someone admiring Taehyung's courage. Principal reaction. Principal Minho jaw tightened, his pride stung in front of the entire student body. Principal Minho angrily, "Enough! Do you understand what you are admitting, Kim Taehyung? This you dare to call it marriage?" But Jungkook finally stepping forward, his voice calm but powerful. "Jungkook, yes, Taehyung is, and I will protect him no matter what it cost me." Gas filled the room again, but this time many students clapped softly, supporting their word. Minji clenched his feet, his jealousy burned like wildfire. Minji to himself bitterly, "Husband, huh? Interesting." He smirked return, but his eyes with something darker. The
principal office crowd had disappeared, but whispers lingered everywhere. Students were still shocked by Taehyung revelation, and the story spread across the campus like wildfire. After Minho learned of Minjun scams, Principal Minho stood tall, his expression storm. Minji shifted nervously, his usual arrogance under his father's principal gaze. Minho coldly, Minji, your action has crossed every line. From today, you all face consequences. Go to the board for and community service. You will not interference in university matter again. Minji clenched his fist but said nothing. His pride stung, but his father's power left him no choice. Taehyung's apartment, Jungkook sat lightly on the couch, his hands clasped tighter, brought the echo of the principal's harsh word and the student whisper still haunted him. Jungkook softly worried. Tae, you shouldn't have done that, standing up in front of everyone like that. Now you all face gossip, judgment, and maybe even lesson. Taehyung walked over and gently placed his hand on Jungkook. His smile was soft, but his eyes carried determination. Taehyung, I don't care about gossip. I only care about you. You lose your job because of me. I couldn't stay quiet. Jungkook squeezes his hand. You are worth more than my career, Taehyung, but it's hurt me to see you going through this. Taehyung shook his head. No. Jungkook's shoulders, Taehyung soft, resuming. Just 2 more months, Jungkook. My graduation is almost here. I can manage. After that, no one can control us. We'll be free. Jungkook looking down at him. His heart turned between pride and worry. Jungkook whispers, promise me you'll be careful. Minji want to stop here. I can feel it. The graduation ceremony. The campus was alive. The cheers, laughter, and campus flash. Student is grown toast here there. Came into the air, the atmosphere full of pride and relief. Taehyung stood among his classmates. His heart beat faster when his name was called. He walked across the stage, receiving his degree with shining eyes. From the crowd, Jungkook watched with a proud smile. And come together in a loud clap that stood up even among the hundred of people. Jungkook to himself, whispering, "You did it, Tae, my love, you did it." Taehyung stopped him instantly. His lips got into the biggest smile. Taehyung sat at the private table, soft music play in the background, a small cake with the word congratulations. Taehyung sat between them. Taehyung smiled warmly. Thank you, Jungkook, for being by my side. Everything I won't have made it without you. Jungkook reached for his head. You made it because you are strong, Tae. I'm just lucky I got to witness it. They shared laughter, memories of the past year, and gentle cheers that spoke louder than words. The city light outside the window back at home. The celebration continued in their own quiet way. Taehyung rested his head on Jungkook's shoulder, whispering softly, Taehyung, this is the happiest day of my life. Jungkook tightened his chin up, lip meeting in a tender that began soft, tender, filled with that all love, longing and relief of finally reaching this moment together. The night paired with warm closeness and the unspoken promise of forever. Time skipped 3 years later. Life has changed beautifully for both of them. Taehyung, now the young CEO of a successful fashion company, carried himself with elegance and quiet strength. His days were full of meetings, deadlines, and decisions, but every evening his heart found peace in Jungkook's arms. Jungkook remained a professor respected and admired by students and colleagues. No matter how busy his day was, he never missed sending Taehyung sweet to eat or rest. Their love had matured steady as the passing region, but just as tender as the first day it bloomed. Taehyung sat at the dining table, staring at the untouched plate of breakfast. His hands were clasped together, resting on the table, his face pale. Jungkook noticed instantly as he stepped out of the kitchen. Jungkook concerned. Tae, why not you eating? You've been barely touched your food these days. Taehyung forcing a smile. I don't know, Cook. I just feel tired and he paused, pressing a hand. Jungkook set the tray down. Worry filled his features. Jungkook, you've been running on little sleep too. Maybe it's just stress for work. Taehyung nodded faintly, but his body told another story. Taehyung said office afternoon during board meeting. Taehyung suddenly felt dizzy. He excused himself quickly, locking the door of the office bathroom, leaning against the sink. He took deep breath. His reflection pale and confused. Taehyung thoughts. Why? Why do I feel like this? Morning sickness? Could it be because you said you were overwhelmed? Jungkook walked in with grocery only to find Taehyung curled up on the couch, looking weak. He rushed to him, immediately kenneled by his side. Jungkook soft but Tae, are you scaring me? You've been sick all week. Please, let's go to the doctor tomorrow. Taehyung hesitated, eyes, then finally whispered, Taehyung, Gu, what if I am? Jungkook frozen, his heart escaped, eyes widened in shock. Jungkook breathless. Tae, you mean? Taehyung nodded slowly. Hmm. A nervous smile his lips. Taehyung, I don't know it, but my body, it feels different, just like those signs we used to read about. Jungkook cupped his face, eyes soft with and disbelief. Jungkook was trembling. If it's a truth, hey, we are going to be. The two fall into a quiet, heart pondering with fears and excitement and the unknown road ahead. The hospital hallway was quiet, but inside Taehyung's heart was racing louder than ever. He sat nervously on the cushioned chair, hands gripping Jungkook. Jungkook kept rubbing a small circle on Taehyung's back, tried to calm him, thought his own chest was tight with anticipation. Taehyung whispering, "Koo, what if it's not true? What if I'm just sick?" Jungkook smiled softly, leaning close. "Then we'll take care of you." And if it's true, his eyes softened, full of wonder. Then it's happiest doctor office. The doctor, a kind woman in her smile after finishing the checkup and reviewing the reports. "Doctor, congratulations, Taehyung. See, you be." For a moment, silence filled the room. Taehyung blinked rapidly, tears welling up as he pressed a hand over his mouth. Jungkook's hand tightened around his eyes smiling, Taehyung's voice breaking. I, I am really?" Doctor smiled. "Yes, you are about weak, alone. You need to of rest and care." Taehyung turned to Jungkook, his tears slipping down his cheeks. Taehyung choked, whispered, "Koo, Koo, you are listening? We are going to be a parents." Jungkook's leg trembled, but he quickly pulled Taehyung into his arms, bending his face into his shoulders. Jungkook softly, voice filled with emotion, "Thank you. Thank you for giving me this gift, Tae. I promise I'll take care of you and our baby with everything I have." Taehyung held him back, their tears mixed, both overwhelmed with joy and love. Taehyung rested against Jungkook's chest, his hand gentle placed over his stomach. "Taehyung, it feels unreal that inside me there are tiny life made of us." Jungkook kissed his hair. "It's real, baby. And I'll be right here throughout every moment, every craving, every mood, every sleepless night." Taehyung's soft laugh. "Don't regret saying that later." Jungkook grinned. "Never. You and our baby are my whole world now." Taehyung's eyes softened, and that moment, surrounded by warmth and love, new journey.